I was involved in bringing it in Middlesbrough.
Okay.
I'm a councillor, so along with other council employees, we went for it, and it caused a certain amount of opposition at first. People said, if you're having a tribute to Captain Cook, why don't we have a statue of Captain Cook looking out to sea with a telescope? And they said, well, no, that's been done before. This artist, Oldenburg, is Oldenburg, a big 60s, 70s figure, and let's do something different and go with his idea. And so we did. And there's a Captain Cook connection. The words are an extract from his log on one of his voyages of discovery, about trying to see the transit of Venus, a sort of eclipse of Venus in front of the moon, in front of the sun, and that's, so that's the connection. And then Cucci, his wife, Cucci van Brugge, his partner, has a poem inside about seagulls colliding with the canals in Amsterdam, because she's Dutch. She died.
She's late, yeah.
And I think this is the only one in Britain.
In the UK, yeah.
Yeah. So, as and when he dies, he'll achieve a lot more fame and, value and so forth. But that's a rather mercenary thought.
Just to I'll just give it a bit. So were you quite specific as to having him as the artist? How did that come about?
Yes, yeah.
Does he have any connections to Middlesbrough?
No, he has no connection with Middlesbrough, but he identified with the town very quickly. I think his whole history is a sort of non-conformist, and he's crudely on the left, if I can very crudely call it that, as we are. And he identified with the town, understood its history, its problems, and so on and so forth, and was delighted to be invited. He took the shape partly from, there's an entrance to the town hall at the side, it takes you into the quad. You can't see it from here, you just go at the edge, and it's got this sort of shape, like that, and you can see it. He took it from that. I wanted it to be associated with water, message on a bottle.
Yeah.
And ideally I would have liked it to be about Stewart Park, where Captain Cook was born. There's a lake up there, and I'd love the idea of having it set in the bank, the lake.
Water, yeah.
Like Captain Cook starts from there, goes around the world, message in a bottle, it drifts back here. But the artist said no, he wanted it in the town centre, and other councils did, for regeneration aspects, more people would see it. And there was a running, hasn't worked very well, a water feature in the base of it, running down to the lake. But that packed up after a while with so many problems. So it's there. And he wanted specifically, in that site there. So there's a sight line from that road and from that road. He was very, very specific about where he...
so that was presumably before everything was built up, really?
The boat, yeah. Well, that's right, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think, from what you said, it's really interesting, because it just seems like the sculpture is actually almost like a modern reinterpretation of old ideas. It's obviously got the Cook references, it's obviously got the town hall arches.
Yeah,
so
he went down to the Saltburn and stairs, and I've seen some of his drawings for it. He's got drawings of a bottle like that in washed up, in the sand. He's got a photograph and then superimposed his drawings. And he's trying different angles, but he finally settled on this.
And just finally, obviously you worked on it, so it's obviously something you like, and usually you would get monuments as opposed to some conceptual sculpture in a town centre, but it's almost as if the bottle of notes is a beacon for regeneration, and that was obviously here before Mima came here. Now it just seems to have started off a sequence of events.
Well, interesting, I said a lot of people were against it. Most people were against it. While it was being built up in Tyneside, actually, just as the Angel of the North, which is on Tyneside, was built on Teesside. Hebburn, old shipbuilding, it was built. I know Oldenburg had a retrospective in London. It got panned by a lot of critics as being old hat, repeating himself. But, oh Christ, we backed the wrong horse here. And so, no, come on, we'll stick with it, do it. And then a lot of opposition, and as soon as it was unveiled, opened, launched, thrown in, and critics from the Times, Independent, Guardian, American press, Time magazine came, thumbs up. Everyone flicked around and said, got a great idea. And what's that saying? failure is an orphan, success has 1,000 fathers. And that was classic. And we were, I knew the councillor who was leading the project for Angel of the North, Sid, in Gateshead, and he said they took courage from but they got a hell of a lot of opposition to the Angel.
Yeah.
And they took courage from our stance. We said, stick with it, you're right. You know, there are a lot of floating voters out there, be strong and go with it. And of course everyone's adopted it. And this is now, the only regret I have is it's not bigger, twice as big.